is oxygen and air. That's why when it's raining, the birds get real happy. Because plants need air, trees and plants need air and oxygen, animals need air and oxygen. We need to breathe, we need oxygen too. Oxygen is good medicine. That's why when it rains, the birds get real happy because out of the ground comes those little squishy, squirmy things. They're pink. They call them earthworms. They're little holes filled up with water. If they don't come out, they're going to drown. They need air and oxygen. So that's, and to the north, for our people, is keeper of the animals, sometimes represented by the buffalo. Most sun dances, you will see them. The sun dances are on here. On the north side, they usually place a buffalo skull, or in some sweat lodges, they will place a buffalo skull. It represents keeper of the animals that live in the water, that live on land, and the ones that fly. We depend on them for thousands of years for food, for clothing, for shelter. And even today, we still depend on animals for feathers. The whistles come from eagle bone whistles. Our moccasins came from buffalo hides, moose hides, drums, rattles. So put all those things together, it represents life. And also buffalo. We have songs about the buffalo. And the buffalo sits on the north side. So around noontime, the Thunderbird star on the other side of the sun, and the buffalo star is sitting over there, around 1 o'clock. 12 hours from now, you're going to see the buffalo star. That's for our people, they call it the buffalo star. The Washubi, white people, they call it Orion. And to the lower left, we call the twin stars. There's two stars. They're so close together, they seem to be dancing around each other. But our people call them the twin stars, Nubabin. But the white people, they call that one Sirius. It's two stars, but it looks like one star. It's kind of a bluish white. So the coordinates of the medicine wheel are connected to the stars. It's also connected to the sun. And the center represents the first two directions. The first primary direction, first creator straight up, and the second is Mother Earth. And then for our tribe, to the east is the sun, south is Thunderbird, west is the wind, and keeper of the animals, represented by the buffalo. So those are some of the stories. And when you go to a white community, you will see a church, you will see a school, and you will see a hospital. But when you come to an Indian country, there's no separation. We have a holistic way of teaching. When you go in the sweat lodge, replenish your spirit, clean your mind, adjust your heart, and look after your body. So inside the sweat lodge, we do the praying, we do the healing, we also do the learning. It's a holistic learning. Whereas when you come here, you learn in school, you pray in church, you go heal at the hospital. But our people, they do it. And ever since I was a little kid, my dad would send me to help the elders. Go check up on them. They might need help. They might need rocks, they might need willows, they might need wood, they might need water, they might need somebody to do things for them. And I would go. And one day, because the elders, every time I visit them, they always tell me what to do. They always seem to know what to do, but they'd always get me to do it. And one day, my dad said, "Go check up on the elders. I heard they might be up to something." And I told my dad, "No, I don't want to go. The elders, they know everything. They don't need my help. They know what to do." And my dad said, "No, you go help the elders." I said, "Go check up on them." And I was feeling lazy. And I said, "No, I don't want to go, my dad. The elders, they know everything. They can do it themselves." And he looked at me and said, "You know, when these elders, when they were young, they were strong and they were healthy. But now they're old. They're not as strong and as healthy as they used to be. And they can't do the things you used to do. Go and check up on them," I said. And I said, "Today I don't think I'm going to go. If you're not going to go find a willow then. Go get a willow." And I knew what he meant, what he meant and what he was going to do if I go find a willow and bring it back. And he said, "Did you hear me?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Go find a willow." "Oh no, I think I'm going to go check up on the elders." So I did. But when the elders, they saw me coming, they were happy. And I would help them measure their sweat lodges, their sun dance lodges, ghost dance lodges, and everything. And they would always make the center. They would put a center and tie a string and then make the circle. Make the circle. And I always tell people 9 is a very important number, because this year I'm 63. 6 plus 3 is equal to 9, and it's 2016. 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 6 is equal to 9. And for our tribe, prime numbers are very, very important. Because even in beadwork, to do the geometry, to get that point, you need one bead. The next line would be 3 beads, 5 beads, 7 beads. But we use a lot of prime numbers, even in the beadwork, to get the shapes, the geometry. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. And here if you connect those lines, the old people showed me this. So in geometry, you have shapes. You have the circle, you have the square, and we have triangles right there. But to measure the Sundance Lodge, the elders said when they make the 4 primary directions, they go from here 90 degrees, 180, 270, and 360. So why I said 9 is a powerful number for our tribe is 9 plus 0 is equal to 9. 1 plus 8 plus 0 is equal to 9. 2 plus 7 plus 0 is equal to 9. 3 plus 6 plus 0 is equal to 9. So the measurement of the Sundance Lodges, each pole is the same distance to each other. We use 12 poles, our tribe. And each pole is the same distance from each other, and they're all the same distance to the center pole. So what they do is they divide 90 into half. It's 45. 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. And you divide that into half. 22.5. 2 plus 2 plus 5 is equal to 9. And you divide that into half. You get 11.25. 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 5 is equal to 9. So in that way, the poles, you put 3 poles in here, and 3 poles in here, 3 poles in here, 3 poles in here. They're all the same distance from each other, and they're all the same distance to the center pole. So I started talking about this math because a university professor from Calgary said Indians had no concept of math or science. Now in science, what should be white people call a science? They have elements. They have fire, water, earth, wind, energy. So what should be white people call science, Native people call nature. Those same elements are in our culture. That's why even when the old people, they signed treaties a long time ago, as long as the sun shines, we have the sun. As long as the rivers flow, water. As long as the grass grows. So as long as you have sun and water, you'll have grass. And that's how our treaties were, say, the spirit and intent of the treaties, because it's a spiritual thing. So you can use the medicine wheel in teaching a lot of things. If you go this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to go that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're doing math, this is 1/4 of it, and these two, another 1/4, another 1/4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It makes one complete circle. So we have fractions, we have angles, we have degrees, we have shape, we have circle, we have all the math we need to know is in these things, and the circle is just basics. Later on, as we get deeper to the culture, everything becomes spiral. That's when the old people, they talk about the little people. They talk about a lot of things that some of us, we call them myth, legend, folklore, or stuff, but it's real. So indigenous knowledge is not only learning about a certain thing, it's mostly holistically learning about your spirit, your mind, your heart, your body, to learn, to understand, to be part of it. The process of developing the spirit, developing the mind, developing the heart, and developing the body is a holistic process for our people. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard for our people to go to school and learn, because nothing is explained in our language. We have to learn in a foreign language. For me, English is probably my third language. My first language would be Stony, and my second language, my grandfather's language, my mom's side, Cree, and my third language is English, and the English I'm using. But all these things I'm talking about, math is part of our culture, and what they call science, we call nature. It's part of our culture. And that's where I go visit the schools and tell the kids about this thing. First direction, Creator. We have a song for Creator. We have song for Mother Earth. We have song for the sun. We have song for the thunderbird. We have song for the wind. We have buffalo songs too. So we learned these things, and I learned to measure the sun dance lodges, the sweat lodges, and everything. And the old people, they taught me to use those numbers so everything will work out. So holistic teaching and all the elements of science is light, life, fire, water, earth, wind, fire. You got it in the medicine wheel. The math is also part of the medicine wheel. And the stars, the coordinates of the sun dance, the poles, like that. This one I talked about, there's going to be a pole here that's going to signify that's the twin stars. And over here is another one. Around summertime, during the like in summertime, you have the longest day of the year, and that's where the Shagun will be sitting, what they call the diamond dipper. So it connects us. It connects us to everything that we are part of, and that's why the old people used to say, look after the earth, and the earth will look after you. And earth, we call her Mother Earth because just like every woman, she looks after her children unconditionally. She will feed them, provide for them while she can. And just like every woman, Mother Earth has a cycle. Every 28, 29 days, you will see that new moon. That's Mother Earth's cycle. So there's a lot of math and a lot of science in our culture. And the circle is a very powerful teacher. In science, you learn about a lot of things. Or physics or chemistry, but in science you have atoms, energy, you have protons, neutrons, and electrons. What are they doing? Before I dropped out of school in grade 11, the science teacher said, these are molecules, atoms. You know what they're doing? They're making little circles around each other at fantastic speed. And the science teacher said circles. And I stood there for a minute. And I said, that's what the elders were talking about. They understood a lot of things. So for too long we've been misunderstood, misinterpreted. But in our stone circles, I don't think there's hardly any left. There used to be a stone circle by Cheviot, by south of Hinton, by Lovett. The old people, I used to go with them on horseback to visit that stone circle. And that stone circle connected you to the longest day of the year, the springtime when days even out, wintertime when the shortest day, longest night, and then spring again when day even out, spring, summer, and fall. Spring and fall the days even out, but in the winter you got the shortest day and the longest night. In the summer you got the longest day and the shortest night. So all those things were marked, and all the stars and the sunrises and the moons, it was marked in the stone circle. Last time I saw that medicine wheel was when I was 11-year-old. I went there with the old people. They went and did a ceremony, and after that, never went back. Started going to school, but the old people went. Then years later, when I went there, one of the old people was sad, and he was crying. I went to the circle. When they stripped mine that mountain, they destroyed the circle. So it's gone no more. It's not there, but some of the stories they left behind, some of what they shared with me, I still keep with me because it makes sense. Like I said, I'm a skeptic and I always ask questions. And some things I believe and some things I question. And it's very hard to convince me because I'm a stubborn guy. But that's what with the medicine wheel is. I think when they're changing the curriculum and the teaching systems, we have a lot to offer the education system. Education does not mean educating only our people. We also have to educate the teachers. Because they don't understand our language, we have to translate the best way we know how into their language and educate them about our culture, our teachings. But this is where your faith comes from, your beliefs. It helps you be who you are. Whether you go to a ceremony or church or whatever works for you. And here's where you have thoughts and think. Here's where you feel, you love, you care. And here's where you look after yourself. Walk, run, dance, the old people say. So our teaching is mostly holistic, and is learning about the environment around us. Learning about the sun, learning about the stars, learning about the animals, learning about the water, the fire, the wind, the earth, and all these teachings, they come. So all the plants you see is standing in the light. Every tree you look at is standing in the light. Every flower you see standing in the light. Everything you see. But Thunderbird teaches that opposites work together, fire and water. Guess what keeps the plants and trees alive? And it's always in the dark. It never sees the light. They call it roots. If the roots were all in the light, all the plants would shrivel up and die. That's why when you plant a garden, you make a little hole in the ground, put the potato there, cover it up. Once it's in the dark, it'll reach for the light. Light and darkness work together. So in one of the medicine wheels a long time ago, one of the colors was black. Was a sacred color. It represented the darkness that the roots keep everything alive underneath the ground. We use roots for medicine. Our potatoes grow under the ground. It grows in the dark. And they told our people black was an evil color. And the people who told our people that black was an evil color were wearing black robes and black habits. So I think they knew what they were talking about. But then, I don't know if I answered any of the questions.
Oh, you've answered lots.
Yeah.
So we're going to edit this film anyway.
Yeah.
But, maybe the other question you can maybe touch on is, what is reconciliation? What does it mean to you?
Reconciliation, that's I don't know the true meaning of reconciliation. Maybe if you give me a little definition or a description.
Reconciliation can mean lots of different things to different people.
Yeah.
But basically, the way that we're using reconciliation is that it's a reclamation of traditional knowledge and ways of being.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do is to make sure the curriculum reflects that process, to make sure that our ways of being and knowing are included in curriculum. So
Yeah.
that's what we're referring to.
Yeah, okay. For me, I think reconciliation would mean looking after our spirit, looking after our minds. Because some things that happen in life that sometimes we think about.